Greetings and welcome back to the Galley of the Sun. Today, another chapter in our pizza series. Today we tackle the monster, the Chicago-style deep dish pizza. There's a debate out there. Is it pizza? Is it a casserole? Doesn't matter. It's delicious. And pizza's in the name, so it's going in our pizza series. So what we're going to make today is a take on Giordano's pizza from Chicago. The dough recipe is going to seem like it is for a ton. Well, what it's for is two 14-inch pizzas. We're going to do one in this badass dish that comes from Lloyd's Pans. And then we're going to do the second in a cast iron skillet. So we'll determine whether or not you need to go out and get a badass pan or not to make some great Chicago-style pizza. So what makes a pizza Chicago-style? Well, first you have a cornmeal butter crust. That's a little bit different. 2, it is very deep. 3, the order that you put the ingredients in, and we'll talk about that when we get there. So first of all, let's get the dough going. I'm about 3.5 hours out from our intended dining time right now. Should have plenty of time to get this done. First, we're going to put our dry ingredients into the food processor. All the amounts are down in the description. But, starting with the crazy amounts, what I have here is 9 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. All right, so we got a crazy amount of ingredients for the dough. I'm making two 14-inch pizzas. They're gonna have the bottom crust, they're gonna have a middle crust too. So sort of a stuffed pizza in the style of Giordano's. I am gonna put half the ingredients in, do one batch, and do the other half after that. So first we're gonna put the dry ingredients into the food processor because I need to chop the butter in. I've already got my flour in there. Now goes about half of my cornmeal. And as I said, all the ingredients amounts are down in the bottom. So I've got my yeast in, my salt and sugar. All right, now we're gonna pulse it a few times. All right, got the dry ingredients mixed up. Now we're going to cut in 1 1/2 sticks of butter. I know that seems like it's a lot, but once again, this is a cornmeal butter crust. So what we're looking for here is sort of a pebbly type mixture. Okay, got that where I want it. Now goes in my 85-degree water. Got that almost formed. Now we're going to give it a few more seconds here. And we're there. Now we're going to oil a bowl. And in goes our dough. And we're going to let that rise for about an hour. I'm going to do the other half of my dough, and we'll be back in about an hour. All right, so the dough has been rising now for about 90 minutes. What we're going to do is take a huge pan here, and we're going to get that sprayed down. And then remember, we're making two different pizzas. So I need dough to cover the bottom of the pan and go up the sides. But then I need a second piece of dough just to cover the pizza. So I'm going to take what I have and split it about 60-40. I'm going to shape it into a disc and get that on my pan. I'm going to do the same size or same thing with the second one. That's just a little bit bigger. And we'll also do that for our dough for our second pizza. Sit there. The bigger one, same thing. Give room for everything here. Okay, I'm gonna hit the top with some olive oil. And then we're gonna take a second pan, invert that, and that's gonna rise for another hour. So our cornmeal butter crust is rising for the last time. Another hallmark of the Chicago pizza is the sauce. It's on the top of the pizza like the Detroit, but there's a lot more of it, and it's very thick and hearty. So now we're going to get to making our sauce for the pizza. We're about an hour and a half away from pizza time right now. All right, now we go to make the sauce. First thing we're going to do is we're going to melt 6 tablespoons of butter. Now remember, we're making pizza for 2 pizzas, and they're 14-inch pizzas. May seem like a lot of sauce, but we're going to use it all. Now there's always the debate of cooked sauce versus raw sauce. I'm a cooked sauce fan. Plus, to get this thick, I believe this is the best way to go. Okay, butter's pretty much melted. Now goes in a half of grated red onion. And I'm grating it there so I don't have any big chunks of onion in my sauce. I want the flavor, but I don't necessarily want that texture. And also our garlic. The recipe says 6 cloves, so you know I have 8 to 10 in here. Now we're just going to cook that until the onions and garlic become translucent and we start getting that strong aroma. Then we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. Okay, we're there with the onions and garlic. Now, the only way to go, San Marzano tomatoes. And you can get the crushed ones, but it's much more therapeutic for you to get the whole ones. And then as you're putting them in the sauce, squish them in your hand. Don't do it wearing a white shirt. Okay, first can's in, get that all mixed in, and then we'll add the second. To help thicken that up, I'm going to use about 6 ounces of double concentrated tomato sauce. Centro is our favorite brand for this stuff. I think I said sauce, I meant paste. We're also going to add our sugar and our salt. And then about a tablespoon of fresh diced oregano and fresh diced basil. Get that all mixed up. Then we're going to let this simmer here for about 40 minutes to an hour until it's good and thick. Because we squash those tomatoes with our hands, we have some good irregular shapes in there, some good texture to it. This is going to be outstanding. Okay, it's good and mixed, so 40 minutes or so of the dough rising and the pizza sauce simmering. We'll see you then. Okay, the sauce is plenty thick. Let's get to making some Chicago-style pizzas. All right. Get our dough, turn it over a few times. We are looking for, it's a 14-inch pan, so we're looking for about a 17-inch disc. That way we make sure that we get those sides covered and we're good to go. So now we're gonna get that rolled out. Gotta start there, get that flipped over. Okay, take a look here, eyeball it. I think we're good. So, here's another thing that makes a Chicago pizza different. So I've got 4 tablespoons of butter here. I'm going to take this and I'm going to paint the entire inside of my pan with this butter. I'm going to use all 4 tablespoons. Getting all the way up on the sides. Getting every bit of it covered. And then getting that broken down and spread out. Is this messy? Absolutely. Is it worth it? Absolutely. All right, so there we are. Check out all that buttery goodness. Now, if you're living the normal life, then at this point, you're going to take some Parmesan cheese and sprinkle it all over that. If you're living the Galley of the Sun life, you're going to use some magic cheese. Our mixture of Parmesan, Romano, Asiago, and Mistra. So we're going to get a good, healthy amount. In fact, I'm using the big side. A good healthy amount of that on there, and it's going to cook right into that crust. It is going to be amazing. Get it up on the sides. It's going to stick to that butter. Okay, got it. We're covered. So now the primary crust, We're gonna get that into the pan. So we're gonna take it and roll it up a bit on our rolling pin, and then drape that over the pan. Get that moved to the center for filming purposes. If you're not filming this, you won't have to worry about that. Now we're going to lift up on the outside and relieve that a little bit and let it settle down into the pan all the way around. That incredible cornmeal butter crust. I mean, it just sounds great. Go around a few times. Okay, we're all the way to the top. Okay, now we're just going to press down and take that excess off all the way around. Could you probably use a knife and make it prettier? You could, but the citizens of the Galley of the Sun are pretty hungry, so I'm trying to hurry here. Okay, we have the bottom covered. We're all the way up on the sides. I have taken the excess crust off all the way around. We're good to go. Now, another thing about Chicago-style pizzas. Regular pizza, put down a little bit of cheese, hit it with some sauce, hit it with your toppings, hit it with another round of cheese. The Chicago style is a little bit different. This is an 8-ounce package of whole milk mozzarella. It's going in. This here is a second 8-ounce package of whole milk mozzarella. It is also going in. Now we're going to even that cheese layer out all the way around. So now we have that ginormous layer of cheese. Fantastic. Next thing we're going to do, this is a Chicago style pizza. What do they like in Chicago? Sausage. So I've taken a pound of sweet Italian sausage and a pound of hot Italian sausage. I've mixed it together. I'm making 2 pizzas, so I'm going to divide this in about in half. There we go. Previous pizzas, we cooked the sausage ahead of time. Chicago style, this thing's going to cook 30 to 40 minutes, so you don't cook it ahead of time. So now I'm going to start grabbing little amounts and putting them right in that pizza and make an entire beautiful layer of Italian sausage all the way over that cheese. Just keep filling those gaps with hunks of sausage. All right, wash the paws. Now we're going to hit it with a good layer of pepperoni. And we're not going to be shy. Entire coverage all the way here. All right, that's pretty good coverage. Now we're going to set this aside. We're going to get our smaller dough ball. We're going to throw down some more flour. Get it on our dough. Now we're rolling out, since we have a 14-inch pan, a 14-inch disc. That flipped over. A little more flour on there. Keep it cooperative. See how we're looking there? I do have a 14-inch disc. Okay. All right, I have a bowl of water here. I'm going to take that water and I'm going to wet the edges of my crust all the way around. Okay, got that good and wetted. Now, we're going to take this crust and cover the pizza. Now, we're going to relieve it a little bit and push it into the other crust that we just wetted. So lifting up a little bit to let it go down, because we still got more to put on this pizza. That water is going to help it stick to that original crust. All right, roll the way around. Push in there and get that sealed. This is the method that I saw people using in the pizzerias in Chicago, using their fingers, pushing against the side after getting that second layer on there. Okay, we're all the way around. Now we're going to take a simple butter knife and just cut that right at the lip of the pan, all the way around. It actually works better if you use the flat side. All right, now goes the sauce. So So I got that sauce that's been simmered about an hour. Remember, New York pizza, thick sauce, thinly applied. Chicago style, thick sauce, thickly applied. Oh, I forgot a step. We here at the Galley of the Sun like mushrooms, so I'm going to put about 4 ounces of mushrooms down first. Then we're going to put that sauce on top of that. Okay, we're good. Now back to the saucing. We're making 2 pizzas here, so I'm going to use about half the sauce on each one. Push that all the way to the sides. Make yourself a pretty pizza. Now I'm going to hit it one more time with some more of that magic cheese. My oven is preheated to 425 degrees. This puppy's going in there for about 30 to 45 minutes. Okay, we're good. And we go. Okay, so I'm going to make the second one the same way, but I'm going to do it in a cast iron skillet. And then we'll give them both a try, and I'll let you know. Did they come out the same? Was the pizza pan better than the skillet? Was the skillet better than the pizza pan? Do you need to go invest in a pizza pan? I will reveal all these mysteries to you in a few minutes. All right, it came out of the pan beautifully. It looks exactly like the pictures of other Chicago-style pizzas I've seen. Full disclosure, what I forgot to show you was when you put that second crust on the top, you got to put vent holes in it. Otherwise, you risk a bubble and then pushing your sauce into the bottom of your oven, causing smoke, bad things. You don't want that to happen. So we, in the middle of the cooking, pulled it out, stabbed it a bunch of times. I've got the second one stabbed. This is the pizza pan. So we'll give this a try, and then we'll also give the one that was done in the cast iron skillet a try. See if there's any difference there or not. But hey, let's stop wasting time and get this thing cut up and tried. All right, I really don't trust a wheel pizza cutter with something this thick. So I'm going to use my dough cutter here. The pizza did cook for the full 40 minutes. And then I let it rest for another 10 minutes. Still a lot of steam coming out. I'm probably gonna melt my face when I try this. All right, ready to give it a try. I'm gonna use a fork. This thing is crazy thick. It's still pretty damn hot. Crust is perfect, ton of cheese, fantastic. Definitely something you'll wanna give a try. So, next, we'll try one from the cast iron skillet. All right, so the cast iron skillet one is done also. And I'll tell you, I pulled this one about 10 minutes sooner than I pulled the pizza pan because I was afraid of the crust getting too done. As you can see, looks absolutely gorgeous. Let's give it a try. All right, looks very similar to the pizza pan one. And really, I've already tried the crust. What you'd think would be the difference. Maybe the pizza pan would make better crust than the cast iron skillet. But tastes the same to me. Moment of truth here. I'll tell you what, I can't tell the difference between the one with the pizza pan and the one with the cast iron skillet. So if you have a cast iron skillet, you can make good Chicago style pizza. So I hope you like everything that you saw here. If you did, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. You'll find out when we put out all of our videos. Thank you so much for joining us. And until next time, fair winds and following seas.